Wacky Wednesday. How are we doing, everybody? It's your man, Sammy the Man McIntyre with Moving the Chains. We are rocking. We are rolling today. I got to get into my Raiders as I do every week. This season needs to end. I'll dive into that. I want to touch on Steelers-Ravens, what the implications are for that game, and just talk about today. All right. So the Raiders are now 2-11. Geno Smith got hurt. Kenny Pickett comes in, and nothing changed. So now I'm questioning what we do in the offseason. But, Sammy, what do we do? Well, we're going to fire Pete Carroll, get rid of Geno Smith, and we're just going to go from there. Because this shouldn't be hard to do. Get the right quarterback, draft O-line, get a good head coach, have people that are smart, listen to smart people. You know, common sense shit the Raiders should do. But we're not like that. We can't do that. Because we're the Raiders. And I love you. But I've been getting kind of Quentin Jammer, who played for the Chargers. Kind of funny story, but not really. He had a comment. He said, yeah, you know, I used to get blackout drunk. 2003. And Mitchell Renz retweeted it and put a caption above it and said, Raider fans have been getting blackout drunk since 2003. That's 22 years. And I thought, yeah, it's kind of what we've been doing. And this is about as low as I've seen the Raiders. And I'm trying to think in my head who they should hire. It was going to be Ben Johnson, and the Bears ripped the rug out underneath us. Kind of worked out for the Bears. It's just frustrating to me. But there's one guy. I watch Saturday Night IU because my mom went there, RIP, and I'm watching. I'm a Big Ten guy. I got family that went there. They need to draft Fernando Mendoza. I will bang this drum for the rest of this Raiders season. You need to draft that guy because then you have your quarterback and then you put the pieces around it. That's what you do. Because you have Brock Bowers, you have Ashton Jeanty. Decent, some pieces on the offensive line you can work with. But what I don't understand is, it took you 14 weeks to play Kenny Pickett. When I saw what he did, I know it was mop-up duty, but I'm watching it. He balled out. Ball was coming out. Ball was crisp. Offensive line played together. And yet, Pete Carroll's just so fucking stubborn, he can't get out of his own way. And I just, this season for the Raiders has been so annoying to me. And I hate getting on here and banging on him, but he cracked me up the other day when he said, yeah, I want the fans to support us. Pete, we support you. We support the Raiders through thick and thin, including me. But Raider fans are tired and sick of you saying ignorant-ass shit, one, and two, not putting a product on the field that's worthy of me going to a game. You need to do that. And the next coach, I'm going to promise you, the next coach that comes and coaches the Raiders, you need to put that on display. You need to put a team on the field that's worth the price of admission. That when you go to a Raider game, you go, damn, I went to a great Raider game. You're going to talk about for years. Even if you lose by 3. Just be competitive. That's all I'm asking. So, right now, Kenny Pickett's playing Sunday against the Eagles. I don't care. I'm so out on this season. And I know it's hard for me to do. I'm still going to do Raider reactions. But I'm just kind of tapped out. They need to take Fernando Mendoza. That's all I'm going to say. And who are they going to get, Coach? I don't know who they're going to do. I got to ask around. Because I was thinking about this today. I know Gruden was coming up and David Shaw from Stanford, who I thought would be a good choice. Had some Raider ties, was there with Al Davis back in the day. Got to start with the Raiders, I believe, kind of like Harbaugh. Before he went to Stanford. Really got that program in the right direction after Harbaugh left. That would not be a bad hire. But having said all that, I look at the last couple years down at Stanford, out in Palo Alto, and it kind of ended shitty because they were trying to do something different than what they were usually doing. Run the ball, defense, in between the tackles, that kind of deal. And they kind of went away from that. They hired the Wake Forest offensive coordinator, was doing a lot of that slow mesh, pull it, and then fire shots down the field. So that, to me, is the biggest thing. Who do you hire? Listen, Gruden's name's been getting talked about, and rightfully so. Hondo Carpenter, I follow you. You do a great job covering the Raiders. I appreciate you. Paul Gutierrez, Mitchell Renz, a couple of these guys I follow and I like. Raider Reaction, I follow them on Facebook. And the John Gruden thing's fascinating to me because when Gruden was coming back the second go-around, you saw it turn the corner. Now, the 19-20 year, chances to make the playoffs, we pissed down our leg, we lost. I got it. 2021 hit, we're on a roll, we lose, got it. And then the NFL came in and swiped it. I like Gruden a lot. I've said before, he reminds me of myself. Chucky, fiery, pissed, intense, loves football, classic. He's just my kind of guy. And he can relate to people. If you saw Gruden in a restaurant, you can talk football with him and shoot shit. So, I don't know what happens. I'd love to see Gruden coach again. Where is that? I don't know. But one thing is for certain with the Raiders, first thing you are doing is taking a quarterback second overall. I don't care what you have to do. You better take one because I have had enough. And I understand, Raider fans, we took Jamarcus Russell and that blew up in our face. We got to move on. It's time. We got to take Fernando Mendoza, take him, 6'3", 225, big arm, great the podium, great kid. Got the win knocked out of him, comes back in the game against Ohio State against like an all-pro roster. That sold me on Fernando Mendoza. I'm sorry, he did. And if you get him and see how this Raider team levels out, now you got something. Now you can go try and compete with the Chiefs. Try and compete with the Broncos. Try and compete with the Chargers. Because you got to have a quarterback to move forward that could go toe-to-toe with those three guys. With Herbert, Bo Nix, and obviously Patrick Mahomes. Now, Patrick Mahomes had a down year, but let's not be blind here. Kansas City Chiefs been in the last 5-6 Super Bowls. They're really good. And they know what they're doing out there. So, you better get this right because Chargers are coming. Herbert ain't going nowhere. And Harbaugh, they're going to be viable for years. Andy Reid Mahomes, we know that marriage. Sean Payton, Bo Nix, not sold on Bo, but sold on Sean Payton. You better get this right. And one thing's for certain. Draft a quarterback. Get the coach right. Draft the O-line. And get it right. That's me talking. Easier said than done because Raiders have tried it and they blow it up in their face and they can't get it right. But you got to do it right now. Right now. Take quarterback. I will bang this home every week until the Raiders are done playing games this year. Draft Fernando Mendoza. Do it. There's no other way around it. Draft him. He's going to be there. You know Giants are taking quarterback at 1. You got to do it. So, take Fernando Mendoza, and I will be the happiest man on the planet. Thank you. And John Spytek is going to get a chance. I think he's going to hire a good coach. Somebody from Tampa, I'm not sure. But time will tell. We got a long way until the combine and draft, although it's coming up closely. So I want to touch on a game that I did not touch on this weekend. And that was Steelers-Ravens. And my buddy Blake Adams and I were talking. He's a big Steeler fan. That was a get-right game for Pittsburgh. And that Steelers-Ravens rivalry is about as fierce as in the NFL. Cowboys, Niners, Packers, Bears, Steelers-Ravens is in there. And Cowboys-Eagles. And I want to take it from both sides of this. So Steelers won 27-22, which I think the Ravens should have won. Ravens got kind of robbed. They had that touchdown. The rule's the rule, whatever. But that was a touchdown. Come on, Max Lawson, you know this better than anybody. You're the biggest Ravens fan I know. You knew it was a touchdown. That's bullshit. But sometimes the gods just weird in some ways. And I do think Pittsburgh, it didn't quiet all the Tomlin fire chants. It did not do that. He had to get that win or else he was on the out. Now, what do the Steelers do moving forward? I don't know. This game, Aaron Rodgers' season, has been pretty good to me. I've watched a couple games of Pittsburgh. I'm not, whatever I've seen, they're a big brand. Said before, they're like second biggest brand in football behind the Packers, Cowboys. And Aaron Rodgers looked pretty good. This roster just, to me, like I said a couple weeks ago, feels like a Madden team. Like DK Metcalf, great. I don't know why. Paying $150 million to pay TJ Watt. I mean, it just hasn't added up. But Aaron Rodgers is not your problem in Pittsburgh. Your problem in Pittsburgh is head coach. Mike Tomlin seems like he's on his way out. My dad's like, oh, well, you've only gone for a while. Yes, because Mike Tomlin has not won playoff games when you had Big Ben near the end and you lost Tebow. That says all I need to know. Good talk. Thank you. Godspeed. Okay? So I think Pittsburgh needs a new juice. Needs to just completely just shove this defensive mindset. It's outdated, out of touch. Bye-bye. The Dolphins did this with Brian Flores. They had Mike McDaniel, and they had some success. Not great success, but they had some success. So you got to do something. Because this Mike Tomlin thing's got to go. Bye. You've done great. It's time to move on. I know you're going to be fearful, but find a new coach. Get Ben Johnson. Get some offensive ingenuity in there. Because that division's going to be harder from here on out. If Cleveland gets their act together, probably won't, but maybe. The Bengals with Joe Burrow, they ain't going nowhere. And the Ravens, they had a bad year this year. Every 10 years they have a shitty year. They're going to be fine. So you better get your shit together. Pittsburgh, you got to get a new fresh quarterback. You're going to be in that spot this year to get one. So that's what I would do. And on the Ravens side of things, it's a shame because I thought they would go to the Super Bowl this year. They've had moments last few years and just hasn't really worked the way I thought it would. I still respect the hell out of John Harbaugh. Lamar's a really good quarterback. Hasn't done it on the post, but I'll argue this till the cows come home. Peyton Manning took a long time to win a playoff game. Justin Herbert is going to win a playoff game. Dan Marino had his fair share of losers in the playoffs. His last game was 62-7, throat punching to Jacksonville Jaguars. That's how he ended. Okay? It happened. But a quarterback needs a whole team to compete and be good. And I think the Ravens are fine. I'm not going to lose sleep. This year is a down year. It happens. You had a bunch of injuries. You had guys in and out. You're going to be okay. I'm not worried about Baltimore in-outs. They'll replenish. They'll retool. Just like the Chiefs. They'll get back to what they are. This is not a shitty... This is a shitty year, which is awful. But just root for Buffalo now. If you're a Raven fan, just root for Buffalo. I'm rooting for Buffalo to go. Because I look at them now, you better go make some noise in the playoffs. You better go to the Super Bowl now, Buffalo, because Chiefs aren't going, Ravens aren't going. So, Eagles suck, and Chiefs are trash. So, you got to do something. So, just to recap, Steelers, you won. Still not sold. And the Ravens, yes, it's a year from hell. Every 10 years you do this. 2015 you had a year. You were 6-10. I was in college. And then the next year you did okay. So, the sky's not falling on Baltimore. You'll be okay. So that's all I want to touch on today. I got my picks tomorrow night. I'll give you guys my reaction to Buccaneers-Falcons tomorrow or Friday. And then it's just getting started, people. So stay tuned. I got more content coming out. Love you guys. Wacky Wednesday. Adios. Godspeed.